Hi. I was roaming through my drawers the other day and I found this Crayola watercolor palette that I bought all the way back in high school. And I decided why not try to paint with it. For this painting, I'm also going to be using these cheap little brushes I got in a pack at Michael's and my watercolor sketchbook. So let's see what we can create with these $5 paints. I decided to color in this little sketch I did of an alien girl, and last minute I decided I wanted to ink it to give it more of a cartoony feel. I used to hate inking my art. It used to be like my biggest pet peeve, but now I'm actually starting to like it once I found a fine liner I actually like to use. The fine liners I use are from Tombow, and they make such nice line art. The most important thing when you're a watercolor artist is to find materials that won't bleed when you put water on top of them, and it's also important to find fine liners that won't fade when you put water on top of them, because that's a big problem I've had in the past. Anyways, I finished inking this piece and I'm really happy with how the line art turned out. I think she looks super cute. She kind of reminds me of like aliens from a Disney movie, if that makes sense, like Treasure Planet. So let's start coloring her with the watercolor paints. I bought these watercolor paints in high school for a couple of assignments I had to do, and honestly they aren't bad. One of my biggest pet peeves in the art community is people saying that the only reason people make good art is because they have good art supplies, when it couldn't be further from the truth. When it comes to art, having like a basic level of knowledge is the most important thing, and then the art supplies are only supposed to enhance your general knowledge of art. Like, if you don't know how to draw a person, buying $50 watercolors is not going to help you draw a person. But if you have studied anatomical knowledge and you know a lot about how to draw the body, having really expensive watercolors will just help enhance your painting. And Crayola watercolors aren't that bad in general. Like, they're pretty good for the price. I think I paid $5 for these at Michael's back in like 2016, and they're still really pigmented and they blend really well. A weird thing about these watercolors though is you can't use them with really good watercolor paper. I remember my teacher gave me some really expensive, like 100% cotton watercolor paper to work with, and when you put the Crayola watercolor paints on there, they kind of like feathered out and made this weird blurry effect on the paper, but then when I used cheaper paper, they worked perfectly. It's really weird, but in the sketchbook I got, they actually worked perfectly. I would actually compare them to a lot of student grade paints from professional companies. They're really pigmented and they blended really well. I had no complaints. I think the only thing I would say is that the colors were very limited. I think there's a bigger set you can buy, but I just got the original like 5-6 pan set. But am I crazy? I swear this set used to come with a white paint. I could be going crazy. Anyways, I finished this drawing off by doing a few little highlights with a white Posca pen, and I'm really happy with how this drawing came out. For cheap art supplies, they worked really well, and I thought I had a good outcome. I had a set color scheme of orange and teal, and I think I accomplished it. But as always, let me know what you guys think about Crayola watercolors and what you guys think about this drawing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.